Hi and welcome, I'm Shane and welcome to Rockin The Planet, the show dedicated to bringing live New Zealand music to your television screens every single week of the year. And believe me, we have the most glamorous lineup we've ever had in our studios. Ladies and gentlemen, apart from myself, we have the wonderful group VIVID. How are you, ladies?
Good.
This is Ash, Jade, Kathleen and Ellie. Ladies and gentlemen, collectively they are known as VIVID, and I'm going to just get them to do a little tune-up with me. Now, really, let's get back to the CT Club and see what they're really up to down at the club on Friday night. Laugh.
It's got this hold on me. I keep trying to think straight, but I can't see. It's a pain, a picture that is clear in your eyes. I breathe, my eyes can't see. Confusion is the very essence of ability. I keep trying to find a gap in this excess memory, and this day just keeps on going the same. It's calling my name. I'd like to get to know you. 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 I'd like to get to know only you. And it's got this hope over my head. It keeps trying to run away from me instead of being so scared. We jump right in. It's got this hold on me. I keep trying to think straight, but I can't see. It's the pain of picture that is clear in my eyes. You, you, I'd like to get to know you. 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 I'd like to get to know only you.
Get to Know You by VIVID. Now, these girls are fresh from the Rock Quest. They got third place out of 700 bands nationwide over a long, well, 3 or 4 months, I think it was. The competition rang, but we're so proud to have the ladies here this evening. And first of all, I'm going to talk to Ash. Ash, welcome.
Thank
See
you
that
so
little
much for having
shaking?
us.
It's lovely having you guys here. You're the best looking band we've had in the place. Honestly. God is full of it. You know.
That might be a
But
bit generous.
anyway, but Ash, how did it all start for this band, VIVID? I mean, you're now, I think, I never ask a lady her age, but I think you're in the range of 17 and 18.
Yeah.
And these are the nicest drinks we've ever had. You know, all the old rockers we have here. Got lovely drinks here tonight, orange and raspberry. And I'm having a wine, you don't mind, do you?
Oh, absolutely fine.
Good on you. All right, now tell me, how did it all start with you guys? You all go to school together, or?
Yeah, so Kathleen started the band in year 7. I think she just wanted
Kathleen
to get...
the drummer.
Kathleen the drummer, yeah.
Kathleen.
And I think she just wanted to get a bunch of people together to have some fun.
Yeah.
Kathleen likes organising people, so it was a big one for her. Yeah, and then I joined in year 7, and then Ali, our guitarist, joined in year 8. And then Jade's just joined us this year. She's our latest
So
recruit.
you started quite a few years ago. You've been
Yeah,
working on this
7
for
years
7
now.
years.
Yeah.
7 years. Now, Ash, talking about the Rock Quest, I mean, you guys started so long ago, 7 years now, when you were just toddlers.
Yeah.
Really, you were, compared to now. I mean, 7 years is a long time. Next 7 years, if I go 7 more years, I'm really old. Really, really old. But anyway, if I last that long. 7 years ago, you started, your musicianship wouldn't have been as, you know, as good as it was. You started off, but everyone starts somewhere. but you still got excited by the performance thing and getting out there and doing it.
Yeah, totally. I think that's what RockQuest is all about, especially at such a young age, is just getting bands to A, get together and have something to do, and then B, just to have an opportunity to play, you know, to people, and you don't really have to work to get them there. it's not just your friends and family, it's all the other bands. So I think right through Rockquest, that's been the best thing for us, is just playing to a whole bunch of people, and it's made us really improve, because we've always known that Rockquest is going to be there the next year, and maybe we'll make it a little bit further, you know.
Isn't it amazing? Is this the first time you got a place in the
Yeah,
final
so
three?
we've come second in the regional final for 2 years, and then this year we came third at the regional final.
So it shows you things are on the up.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Now, Ash, you write a lot of original music between you all. What really inspired you, though? What music would you say that, you know, you grew up on, and was it listening to mum and dad's old records? Or?
Yeah, I think we've got a lot of different influences, like each of us has very different taste, but I think we definitely do draw a lot from old music, maybe not so much from the electronic stuff that's kind of coming out these days, but we love like Coldplay, Arctic Monkeys, the Chili's,
real
the
bands.
Beatles. Yeah, I think, you know, like real instruments and stuff is quite important to us.
I listened to the last song, and I could see myself sitting in San Francisco in the 60s listening to this song, but you know, and it sounds to me like Jefferson Starship. Fantastic band, and I can those songs, you know, you change rhythms and times.
Yeah.
You guys are really experimenting with incredible stuff, and I can see that's why you're going to go a long, long way. You know, your scope is so much bigger, and like you say, the electronic music now, boring. Everyone sounds the same. You sound like Vivid.
Yeah, well, I think we try and write stuff that's a bit different that people haven't heard before. Or...
And that's important. Hear the real voices and don't get pasteurized by the record companies and all that sort of stuff. Stay as you are, Vivid. You sound fantastic. And let's get back and listen to some of your inspirations that probably was on your dad's LP of Abbey Road or something like that, called Come Together.
You wear no shoeshine, you got toe jam football, you got monkey finger, you shoot Coca-Cola, you said, I know you, and you know me. One thing I can tell you is you got to be free, you know.
Come Together, the Beatles classic by Vivid. And what a great arrangement that was. I have to say, guys, fantastic. I love the way you rocked out up towards the end there. Really nice. I love it. Okay, now Dad will be very proud of that. Now Jade, the beautiful Jade on bass. Now you've only been with the band a very short time.
Yeah, I just joined at the start of this year. I met the girls last year through School of Rock.
Yeah, and you all had the same interest. You were learning bass at the school.
Yeah, I was getting singing lessons, but yeah, I met them all there.
But you weren't learning bass there.
Yeah, I learnt bass when I first started there, and then the people that run School of Rock, he introduced me to Vivid and was like, "Hey, they need a new bass player," and I joined.
I'm in.
Yeah.
And you went out and bought a bass. That's how it usually happens. But all right, so you got a beautiful bass. What was the bass you were playing actually?
It was just an Ibanez, but
Just an Ibanez. There's no such thing as just an Ibanez.
Yeah.
We had a guitarist. Do you know a guy called Stray Falcon? He's a rock star, and he plays an Ibanez guitar. So it's like a 70s style with all the cutaways and things. Beautiful guitar. But and he said, "Oh, it's an Ibanez," because I was really curious about this wonderful guitar he was playing. So you're playing an Ibanez bass.
Yeah,
They're
it's
not a bad guitar. They're pretty good.
yeah, I know. I got it off Trade Me. It was $200, so it was a pretty good score.
You got
I
a
thought.
good deal. Well, it looks like a new one. Anyway, good luck. And it's a nice colour too. And it's
Yeah, it is.
nice, sort of
Nice and
aqua
shiny.
and
Works well on
shiny, yeah.
stage. Yeah.
All right, so you're gonna work that bass really hard. I know you're gonna do some great things with this band. You're gonna stick together. That's
Yeah,
the
definitely.
main thing. Don't start walking away and going elsewhere. Really focus on keeping together and doing that. It's very important to see your success. It is. And now this School of Rock, and you all go there. So there's a lot of other musicians going there. School of Rock.
Yeah, there's quite a few musicians, and there's lots of other bands as well. So like we've gotten to know some of the other bands, like the Moods, all of
Yeah.
Keepsake.
Yeah, I'm just curious about it because it's a great avenue for you guys to travel down and go to School of Rock, you know, and it's got to be inciting a lot of people to come in and get into rock and roll.
Yeah, it brings together a lot of people.
Yeah.
It's
It's a
a lot
community.
of young musicians.
All
And-
like-minded musos.
Yeah.
and things,
Yeah, and I
yeah.
actually work there now as well. So we
Oh,
hang out there like pretty much
fantastic.
every day. Yeah.
Oh, great! So you go along there every day. You get a breather. You can get down there after.
Yeah. Like
So if
especially
anyone
summer.
out there wants to learn guitar or be in a band
Yeah.
or is really keen on a career in music,
Yeah.
they could go along here and start studying with you guys and
Yeah.
jamming and hanging out and,
Yeah.
and getting into the music life.
Yeah, definitely. It's a good place to
Sad
start.
for you. But no, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah.
What a wonderful thing that the guy's doing.
Yeah, there's nothing
Yeah.
really like it, I think, around Auckland at the moment as
Yeah.
well. So it's just, really
Yeah.
unique and a lot of fun as well for all of us.
Thanks, Kathleen. But now, where is it based?
It's on Hobson Street in Auckland Central.
Now, drums.
Drums.
What inspired you to play drums? I mean,
In all honesty, I can't even remember what, convinced me to start. I think it was just cool and a bit original because at school at the time, obviously at an all-girls school, there was no one really, playing the drums, and I wanted to be a bit different, be a
you're all
bit
playing the
bit of
piano.
a rock chick, yeah. I was on the recorder at the time, so I thought I might stray away from that.
A lot of people had to start out on the recorder.
Exactly, you've got to
Even I
start
did.
somewhere.
And then you progress. None
Exactly.
of this thing. Put this away.
Yeah, picked up some drumsticks and never
So-
put them down.
And you got a kit, or someone donated a kit? Or you started
Yeah, I
using
mean, for
somebody
the
else?
first few years, I just kind of didn't practice much. Like classic, kid
What a role model.
practice
Yeah,
story.
she's correct. Yeah. I didn't practice.
But eventually,
Just a natural.
bought a kit, and hopefully I'll be getting a new one soon. So,
Yeah, I think we've got to get you a sponsor for the drums.
yes.
Now you're becoming, you're hot property, all you guys. You are hot property.
I wouldn't even call that before.
No, there you go. No, you are, because you've just, third place getters in the Rock Quest is pretty high out of 700 bands in this country. So you've got to be up there somewhere, and everyone's taking an interest in you all of a sudden, I noticed. And you must see the difference. Suddenly you're on TV, you're on another TV channel last week, doing a couple of songs. So it is moving around, and you're doing songs everywhere else. Anyway, we're going to hear you drum up a storm, Kathleen. And we're going to do Back to the CT Club with Vivid live on stage.
You look so good in your suit. Do you know I've been thinking about you? It's so dark. You look so good with your guitar. You look so good with your guitar.
Heavy Hide. Yes. Great song. Got to admit. Yeah. Now, what inspired that? I mean, there's a great line in that song about you look good behind your guitar, I think it was, or something very similar. Who wrote that line? No one's going to own up.
Well, we wrote the rest of the song, and it was quite different. And we had because in the chorus it's got that part where it goes da 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 da, and it was just that the whole chorus. There was no line.
So it's a long time coming to finally have a line.
Yeah.
And the rest of the song is not really about that. And then
that's the line that fitted.
Yes.
Yeah,
one of those light bulb moments.
Final piece of the puzzle that just sort of
Fell into place.
Yeah.
And this is Ellie, lovely Ellie, and our rock guitar player. And Ellie, now you've been with the band right from the start, more or less, haven't you? So you've been working really hard with the band. And you write the songs. Now I know you write the lyrics, Ash.
Yeah.
Is that right? And then you come to the band with the ideas for the songs.
Yeah. So
Or
generally,
you all get together and jam out and come up with ideas for the backing. Is that right?
Yeah.
Am I correct? You
Yeah,
tell me.
definitely. So Ash will come with the lyrics and the chords and sort of a singer-songwriter kind of thing, and then we
Develop.
it
Pull it
and
apart.
pull it apart a bit. Often the song will just change so many times before we get it to a final one that
Yeah,
we're
till you
happy
get the right
with.
feel.
Yeah. But we write our own parts sort of around.
You wait
it.
for the drummer to get that right solid
Oh
feel.
yeah, she gets there.
Eventually.
No, very good.
All right, now are you interested? Now, you guitar-wise, you were playing lead guitar. I mean, not a lot of ladies do go out there and play rock guitar. Not as many as should.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's good to see. Believe me,
Yeah,
it's great.
yeah.
Who are your inspirations? Who do you follow?
Oh well, I love Queen.
Queen?
Waiting for that one. Brian May is
I was
like,
going to say, so you're sort of looking
yeah,
at Brian May as an inspiration.
and Joe Satriani and
Oh,
Santana.
you're
Going to
talking
his
my
concert
Joe
in
Satriani.
November.
Now you're talking my music. I mean, and you're talking about established guitarists, guys that have been around for a long time. The 70s and that, 40 years ago. And you're still being inspired by these sort of guys. Brian May from Queen, Joe Satriani, and I believe you guys have been listening to Bohemian Rhapsody, the Queen track, the classic.
Yeah, I think
Now-
we might have like the most awesome music teacher in the world. And we've been studying Bohemian Rhapsody in class at the moment.
And what's her name or his name?
His name, Mr. Warsnob, Mr. Andre Warsnob,
There
from
you go.
Dio.
Andre.
It's just, yeah.
Shout out.
Well, girls, I think you should all give him away.
We wouldn't be,
Andre,
where do we wave?
anywhere you like.
we
He'd
wouldn't
be happy.
be the band we are today without his constant support and
Oh, fantastic.
like-
Aren't you lucky to have
yeah.
He
so
believed in
lucky.
us from the beginning,
Even
you know?
when we were terrible.
Shocking.
He was like,
He would always,
Even when we were
tell us we
terrible.
were brilliant.
he was
and-
always there being like, yeah, that's good work.
He made us believe we were rock stars from the
Yeah.
beginning.
He pushed you and pushed you
Yeah.
and pushed you.
And so, I mean, Mr. Warsnop introduced us to Bo Rap specifically, but I think, we were
Everyone knows
listening.
the song.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
it's a
of course.
classic.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people are starting to listen to old music if they don't like
Yeah.
the current stuff because
Tell me what you don't like now. You say you're not that keen. You don't sound that keen on the new music that's out there now.
That might
I'm
just be
talking
me, I don't
people, the pop stars of today. What I would say, Miley Cyrus, Lady Gaga. She's cool.
yeah.
Love her.
I mean,
Yeah,
she
that
can
new
write
album
great
she's
stuff,
done.
and she's doing great stuff. But there are other people like Miley Cyrus's and people like that. Not my cup of tea. I'm sorry.
I think maybe the biggest difference is between like the electronic side of music and then having real instruments.
Yes.
To me, that's what makes the biggest difference is listening to music that's by someone who's actually playing something.
Yeah.
You can always hear the difference. It has more emotion, more
Oh.
kind of soul to it.
Yes, yeah.
It's always
Real
just got,
music.
yeah, there's a little bit more
Yeah, I
weight to
agree.
it
The songs
than,
are always catchier as well. you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
for me, it's not so much about like the genre.
That's how it goes. That's a hit. There you go. I've just written one.
We'll be on
and then
ZM
a little
tomorrow,
trumpet thing,
Yeah.
a little catchy brass instrument.
Yes.
yes.
And you've got a dance track,
Yeah.
and that's it. And that's where it's all gone wrong for me. I'm not interested in dance tracks. I want to hear good emotional music and good tunes, and that's what you guys are full of at the moment.
I think for us as well, like it's like when talking about Miley Cyrus and that kind of thing, it's not even so much the music, it's the way that a lot of like female artists are now portraying themselves and that kind of thing. We look up especially to lots of
total sex object.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I'd say
like,
it.
we'll look up to kind of female artists that are actually, you know, like putting out their music as opposed to kind of
Like Kimbra.
themselves.
yeah,
It
like
amazed me
Kimber
though.
and
Miley Cyrus, I saw a whole lot of fans outside the theatre waiting to see her, and all those kids, they're all young ladies, probably 12, you know, real adolescents, and they were just absolutely in awe of her, and they were in love with her. They were there to see Miley, and they couldn't wait.
What the parents
I mean,
And
I
she's
think
as raunchy. She's as raunchy now as anyone is on stage, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I think she's definitely edgy. And there's nothing.
She knows what she's doing.
Yeah,
you know?
there's nothing
Yeah,
wrong with
she's
with
making
Miley,
a lot of
but
money.
it's just, I guess, it's just not what we're about. You know,
No,
I'm
that's what
totally
I like.
fine with some artists. There's a market
Yeah.
for it, and it's cool. You know, but yeah, I think we just want to make sure we stick to who
Real
we
music.
are, and we're not really.
Make the music we enjoy.
Yeah.
No, that's the important part. Just get back to the real music. And that's what we're going to do at the CD Club right now with my fabulous guest, Vivid.
With a tea and a teapot, but I think I'd be happier than I've got so much to give, but it's a waste for me to give you all my love. We are running round in circles. Do I get $200 if I pass go? Is it enough to be your person, or do I do everything I can to show you my love? You're losing everyone, and I know that it gets rough, but you chose to be in love. Oh, and we get so damn defensive, but it seems we've been defending no one's back. We are always getting better, but we take one step and take a few more back. Oh, the tea and the teapot, you treat me like I don't deserve a voice. But if you don't believe me, then that's just your loss and that is just your choice. So drift a little bit further now. I don't wanna hear you sound. Girl, you're bringing me right down. A little bit further now. I don't wanna be around. Girl, you're swinging up and down.
Tea and a teapot. I could do with a cup of tea myself right now, but the girls are exhausting me. I'm telling you, tea and a teapot. What a curious sort of lyric. Where did it come from?
I wrote it in year 11, so a couple of years ago, and
Totally teetotal, as they say.
yeah, and it was kind of random. I was writing a song about friendship. This is going to sound so weird, but about friendship and about when you sort of drift away from a friend.
Yeah.
And so that's like the chorus is drift, is like that long note that's held. And I don't know, I had tea and a teapot, and sorry, tea in a teapot.
Yeah.
And then I was kind of thinking that the tea was a metaphor for the friendship.
Going down the gurgler.
Yep, and the cup was like away from the tea in the teapot. So the cup was where I wanted to be because I didn't want to be in the friendship. So, you know, that was me getting very metaphorical.
It's metaphorical and very psychedelic. Wow,
But it's
so
actually
good.
turned
Tell
out
you,
quite cool, you know.
something
people,
about San Francisco going on. Yeah,
but people kind of like it, you know. It's a bit random.
That was
but
cool.
yeah, people kind of
Well,
seem to like it for
it's
some
the
reason.
song that I've picked up out of all your repertoire so far. Tea and a Teapot is the one that stands out. It's the outstanding track. I really think you've got huge, promise, and everything's going to go well for you.
Yeah, well, we were so lucky to record a single at Roundhead through Smoke Free
the
Rock
studios,
West,
yeah.
the studio Roundhead, and it was so amazing.
Such a fun day.
Such a fun day. Wow. So yeah, we're looking to work with that and hopefully after that to record some more of our songs. Maybe put a
I'm
bit of
really
an
happy
EP together.
Yeah.
It's the next
So we can
obvious
expect to
step.
hear you soon
Definitely.
on the radio.
Oh,
Sure.
Yeah. And get out there and keep promoting this band.
Exactly.
We will do anything I can to help you. I want to see. I'll be here to help you, along with the crew and everybody else.
Thank
okay?
you.
Vivid, we love you, and I'm sure that you'll agree. Tonight, my special guest, Vivid, have been absolutely fantastic. The youngest people I've had on the show. I can't believe it. I really feel ancient. But anyway, I've got to go home to bed now. I'm exhausted. And so we're going to close tonight. Rockin the Planet, thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week once again with another great show and some great guests. Good night.